Hi everyone, my name's Samuel Benter and I want to give you 10 tips for creating a successful web series. Number one, and these are my own personal opinions, begin with the end in mind. What do I mean by that? When I say begin with the end in mind, it's know your destination, know what it is that you want to achieve from starting anything, because you wouldn't jump on any public transport if you didn't know what the final destination would be. So you've got to know where it is that you're going before you actually start. And I mean, a lot of people, they get started on things and they don't even know where they're going, and they end up going round in circles, and they don't seem to get anything off the ground. You know, if you use your brain and you just visualize the possibilities of what you can actually achieve with this product or this show that you want to create, you know, things will start happening for you where you can actually just see that come to manifest right here, right now. I mean, you don't even need to worry about how you actually get started on anything. The important thing is that you begin with the end in mind and you just take the first step. Number two, trust yourself. You can do this. A lot of people, they really don't believe in themselves. How can I put it? A lot of people are in fear, and a lot of people like to wait for someone else to make the first move before they actually consider doing anything. I'm sure a lot of you have things written down or dreams that you've written down on a piece of paper and you've just left it on the shelf and it's probably collecting dust and cobwebs, and you just thought to yourself, there's no way that I could actually do something like that, because everyone thinks too much about the how factor. No one really gets started on anything, but you just have to trust yourself that you can do it. I mean, what gave me confidence to actually do my own show? I mean, it's just that self-belief, knowing that I could do it. But also, the most important thing is the why factor, which I shall talk about later. But you've got to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, then nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change. I mean, yeah, fair enough. You can get people that's going to believe in you. But the most important thing is you've got to believe in yourself for you to actually just go out there and do the thing. Number three, know your audience. Now, before you begin writing any sort of script, you have to know who is going to watch what you're actually about to write. Because if you don't know that, you're just going to be writing very, very broad. And when you write broad, you're not actually targeting a specific audience. I mean, if you was to get on, I don't know, let's say for those who live in London, if you was going to get on London Underground and you didn't know specifically what line you was meant to go on, you'd be going all over the place and it'll just be complete mayhem. Do you know what I mean? And it'll probably charge you tons of money on your Oyster card. And we all know that's a very, very expensive thing. And especially if you're going to be going up in the zone 1s all the way up to 6. So we don't really want to be doing that now, do we? So, like I said, you got to know your audience. Is this something that kids can watch? Is this something for a mature audience? Does this have swearing, violence? Does it have nudity? Or is this something that's very, very animated? Is it a comedy? Is it a drama? What is the genre? Who is it that you want to speak to? Who is it that you want to speak to? Who do you want to reach out to? What is it that you want to say? When you know who your audience is, that is then going to narrow your focus in terms of what it is that you're actually writing. And then when you write it, it should just work and it should just flow. You'll know what your parameters are. You'll know what the boundaries are. You'll know what you can do. You'll know what you can't do. And then there won't be any disappointments, because you know your audience, you know who you're talking to, you know what not to include, you know what to include. So know your audience, very, very important. A lot of people just go out there creating their shows and they don't even know who it is they're talking to. Guys, you're wasting time. You ain't got time to waste. You just got to be here in the now and just know who it is you're speaking to. Number four, Have a good story that people can relate to. Touching on what I said earlier, if you were to write something, firstly, it's got to make sense. I'm sure we've all seen those movies or those shows where at the end of it, we're like, what the hell did I just watch? Like, why was that necessary? Why was that even relevant? I've just wasted how much money going in cinema? Plus popcorn, plus my nachos, plus my drink? No, we don't want to do that. We have to really just have that story that we can relate to. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, like when I was in school and I was chilling with my friends, we'd talk about certain shows that we could relate to, certain shows that we would watch. So when you're going to be creating your own show, you have to write something that people are going to engage with, people are going to laugh at, something they can relate to, something dramatic. And, you know, you can only write, well, this is my personal opinion. I think you can only write what you kind of know and what you've kind of experienced. I mean, when we start stepping out and writing all this other stuff, I guess it can get a bit messy. So, yeah, write a good story that people can relate to. Number 5, have great cast and have great crew. Now, this is a very, very, very important factor. Something that I have definitely learned from being on this journey by doing this show. Now, I'll start off with having a great cast. We can watch TV. We can watch movies. Who is the first, what is that first thing we see? It's the cast. The cast are like the frontline soldiers of the whole army. They are the first thing we see. They are the ones that do the most work. They're the ones we connect with. They're the ones we relate to. If you don't have a great cast that can sell what it is you're trying to say, you're going to look bad as the writer. You're going to look bad as the director, the producer, and whatever. And this is the reason why we do casting. We do casting to find the right actors. And we need those actors to portray the roles that's just going to sell the role to make the story believable. So you've got to have a great cast. It's not just about having a great cast. You can have a great cast, but they've also got to be professional as well. Like, they've got to be able to gel together. They've got to be able to laugh together, get on with each other. So on set, it's like everyone's a family. Because I'm sure we've all been around certain friends, or we felt bad vibes coming from certain people, and it can leave uncomfortable energy around, and no one really wants to experience that. So that is the importance of having a great cast. Great crew. Well, for a show to look good, you have to really have some great technical people on your team. Like, I'm blessed to have such a great technical team on All About the Mackenzies. Like, the guys really put in the work. I mean, they really, really do put in the work. You know, from the DOP, cameraman, editing, sound recorder, makeup, you name it. I mean, even production assistant. All that is so important. I mean, for those of you that have watched All About the Mackenzies from the first series up until now, you will see the growth of the production quality. Now, I'll talk about budgets a bit later, but everyone's been on a journey. Everyone grows, everyone learns, and you know, it's great to have more experienced people that can work with less experienced people. And that's also important too, because everyone is teaching each other. And that's very close to me in terms of people teaching each other, because if we don't teach each other and help each other out, how is anyone else going to grow? This is the problem with a lot of you people out there, because a lot of you like to keep all the knowledge to yourself, and you like to stick in your own corners, and you don't want to be helping out others because you have this belief that there's only a certain amount of opportunities for other people. Nah, that's not right, my people. Like, if you don't know anything about universal laws and giving and receiving, then you're going to be very, very lonely and very, very miserable and very, very unhappy. So the whole point is, have a great cast and a great crew, and praise them as well. Tell them, you know what, that shot looks quite good. Or, you know what, this guy brings extras to the table. You know, like, thank you. Thank you goes a long way. Like, that's something that I've had to learn myself as I've been doing this. So, very important. Number 6, be organized. I would say this is probably one of the biggest things. Like, if you're not organized, you're screwed. I mean, it's like having a messy room. Where did I put my keys? Where did I put my phone? You don't know where it is. You don't know if it's under the pillow, under the sheets, under the bed, with your toys. I don't know. But being organized, a production schedule. If you don't have a production schedule, that's doing you a disservice, your cast a disservice, your crew a disservice. No one knows what's going to get shot. No one knows how long it's going to take to roughly do scenes. There's no shot list, so we don't know how it's going to be shot. Time gets wasted. Money gets wasted. People get frustrated. It's a mess. It is a mess. You've got to be organized. I remember going to a screening for one other web series. I'm not going to say the name, but you know who you are. And I found out it took them X amount of time to film a few episodes. And then they told me that they filmed it episode by episode. You are having a laugh. If you were going to do that, that's going to be a very expensive production. And that's going to frustrate a lot of people. You don't want to be doing that. So I advise you to be organized. Do a production schedule. There's going to be another video in another blog where I'm going to show you how you can actually do one. Now, I'll do the best to explain to you the best of my knowledge, but trust me, even what I have done now helps. Number 7, learn from your mistakes. I think this is quite self-explanatory. Yeah, I mean, if a baby can learn from walking, falling over, walking, falling over, walking, falling over, I'm sure you guys can learn as well. The amount of stuff that I've had to learn just from not knowing anything to knowing what I know now and what I'm still yet to learn, my gosh, if you don't learn from your mistakes, you're just not going to grow. It's all about that growth. I mean, if you don't learn that sound is a very important thing and you still have a sound guy that don't know what he's doing, you've clearly not learned. Do you know what I mean? Or if you're going to have a dodgy cameraman and you're still going to use him, why? Because he's your brethren, it's not going to work. Like, there's a difference with being stagnant and being comfortable than being uncomfortable and learning. Because if you're comfortable, I don't think that's really gonna work for you. You have to be uncomfortable because it's pushing you to grow. I mean, no one ever planted a seed in the ground and the plant was just comfortable and was like, oh, do you know what? I'm just gonna stay here for 10 years. No, it's got to grow. It's got to move and shoot through the surface. So you've got to learn from your mistakes. Why did this happen? How can I avoid this thing happening again? Always look for the solution. If you're not looking for the solution, you're always gonna have the problem and you're gonna end up blaming someone else. But it's not their problem. You're the problem. You wanna know why? You chose not to learn. That is the problem with everyone that's going out creating their shows. They're not doing certain research. They're not learning from their mistakes. And if you ain't learning from your mistakes, you're screwed. Number 8, avoid the opinions of others. And when I say that, I mean people's negativity. A lot of people can be negative and bring you down. Some people are easily swayed by the opinions of other people. You know what is it? I think I read somewhere that the tongue has the power of death and life. And I'm telling you, some people are easily swayed. That someone might say to them, oh, you can't do that. And that person's defeated. Some person might say, actually, do you know what? I believe in you. I know you can do this. And guess what? That person moves forward. Now, you've got to avoid any negativity that comes your way. This always comes down to the why factor, which I shall talk about in a bit. But avoid negative people. They are poison to you, poison to your web series, poison to your production. You've just got to keep moving on. Because if you're going to keep paying attention to all of that, that's going to drain you. Nothing gets done. It affects your whole production. Everyone's going to feel the bad vibes. Fun is going to be lost. And it's just going to be a mess. And nothing gets done, guys. And no one wants to be around a set where nothing's just getting done. Especially when there's time and money that's gone into it. So that's important. Avoid the negative opinions of others. Number 9, have fun. Have fun. Be happy with what you're doing. You've got to be happy. If you ain't having fun doing what you're doing, answer me this. Why the hell are you doing it? Why are you doing it for? A lot of you, you go into some of these jobs and you're just like, why am I here? I'm here to pay this, pay that, but you're not having fun. You've got to do something that's going to just make you just live. People ain't living, they're just surviving. Like on this show, everyone's having fun. They love what they do. They're not here because it's, oh, I have to wake up and go and film today. Nah, everyone's enjoying it because it's adding value to them. Do something that's going to give value to others, but make sure whatever it is that you're doing, have fun with it, because when you have fun with it, you're more likely going to stick with it. Because if you ain't going to stick with it, why are you doing it in the first place? It always comes down to that passion. It comes down to that love. So have fun. Number 10, my personal favorite, and one thing that I've definitely learned along the way, never give up. My gosh, if I could tell you the amount of stuff that I've had to go through with all of these series that I've been doing with All About the Mackenzies, my days, I'm telling you, you wouldn't have nothing to watch, and I wouldn't have grown from none of this stuff. I mean, for those of you that have read the ebook, you will know exactly some of the stuff that has happened, It's like all these, I kind of class these obstacles or failures, it's more of a perception, really. It's more of a milestone. You've got to learn from it, step up, but never give up. No matter what happens, never give up. What you want is coming to you. You can clearly see this is happening. So you can't give up, guys. You must keep on moving forward. Never give up no matter what happens. Because guess what? If you give up, nothing changes. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Some of you have fallen asleep. For those of you who are really interested, you'll actually be taking notes and getting started on this right now. So thank you guys for watching.